kicks off. We get this going. You see now CC is down to the bottom left, belonging to Maru. And at the top right, our red hatchery belongs to Reynor. Are we replays on this series? It looks like we might be. As we get into it. Game number 1 of the 2 games that these two will be playing. And obviously we have some great matches following this up as well, so just going to be a fun set of games. Very excited for it. Hopefully you guys are very excited too, as we get fully underway with this Vitality Basilisk Showdown World Team League Summer 2024. Amazing to be here once again, as 2 barracks do go down, refinery on the way up, a hatchery and drones on the way from Reynor as well. We continue to bring that through for the moment as our refinery finishes up and the few workers jump into that gas straight away. Just going to hop straight into that then, get that back on track. As, yeah, Overlord continue to move through the center here for the moment. A couple of barracks still continuing up at the front, so we get that up and online. All the Korean Terrans seem to really like playing 2 Rex Reaper against Reynor. I don't know what it is. But there's definitely something that apparently screams 2 racks this man. Because, yeah, I think back to Kira in Dallas, where Kira just didn't really do it against anybody, but then he went up against Reynor and boom, boom, bang. There was double racks Reaper time every game, apparently, at that point. Reaper pops as we get a move on. Get settled in here. We look to see what's going to be going on. Hopefully you guys all again having a great weekend. Wrapping it up with some World Team League, and then got a few full days of StarCraft 2 these next few days before I'm actually away next weekend. I'm going to a little festival, so I'll be away at the weekend, but then I'll be back for the new week with even more StarCraft. So lots happening as we get towards the end of July. As Reaper hops up to the high ground, escapes away from a few Zerglings for a couple of moments there. Going to be able to stay out of reach as the Reaper moves back into the main base. Going to start dropping some grenades down. Drones will begin to take some shots. Reaper's going to begin to get onto that hatchery, so hatchery will take a few nibbles. Taking a few hits and just going to be seeing our command centers on the way up. So just going to triple CC behind this as Maru is going to hop to the high ground there, which the Lings are in position for. Got to make sure you get away from the Queens now. Hop the other Reaper up as well, really trying to maximize damage off these Reapers as he puts them back onto this hatch, and will always have the escape out to the right-hand side available as well, so that's always an option for you here. The chance to just escape out to that right side is pretty darn great. That will help out a lot as you move through this hole, as the Reapers continue to escape once more. The Lings still coming through, chasing those Reapers down for the moment. Reapers will join back together. And back up to the top. A few of these Reapers starting to fight. Queen's taking some damage. A little grenade going off, and the Queen's getting bopped around still. Just back through the top side. Drone will take a few shots as well, so a little bit more damage done there. There's a couple of these Reapers still getting shot down for the moment. Just going to see all these Reapers getting caught. So Maru coming back in one too many times, perhaps. Now getting punished for it. I'm going to end up in not as pretty of a position as he maybe would have liked to have been in. Those Reapers going down means he's given up a lot of the map control, which he, had in this game. So now without that, we'll just be feeling a little bit worse for wear. Overlord moves into the main. Things will come across the other side. Is this enough Marines to save the stim pack? I think so. You could dive for it and probably get it for Reynor as Reynor if you wanted to. Maybe you would need more Lings though. Obviously, the question is how many Lings would he lose in the process? Is it worth it? As the Overlord scouts into the main base, keeping a couple Marines away as it goes to clean that up. And also the Overlord picking up some good information during that time as well. And still joined together here. Just have ourselves the Stimpack Marines, Medivacs all continuing on up, so we bring that all through. Continue to bring this into play right now. Marines still in the front. Just going to be seeing the Lings coming up. 1-1 upgrades, combat shield, all continuing to build up as well. So all of that coming through for the moment. As the Marines are going to stem, they're going to go after some creep spread. A couple creep teams going down. The rest of these Lings showing up. Going to get turned around. There are the Marines moving through once more. And the medevacs is loading up, escaping away, backing out of here for the moment. Marines will unload back out to the right side. Marines going to stem as the Ling's looking for a bit of a wraparound here. Marines loading up once again. As, yeah, 1-1 upgrades. Combat shield continuing through. So I'm going to try and keep on playing, but with enough Lings, this should never really be able to get too far. Maru will pull back over to the right-hand side. Actually will threaten the main base with this drop. And as he continues into 1-1 upgrades and the combat shield, obviously as army gets a bit scary once those finish. Reynor only just now getting the Baneling Nest online, so obviously not going to have Baneling speed until about 8 minutes. There might be a little bit of a push here from Maru where there's no Bane speed, and that could be a timing you try and utilize to your advantage. So opportunity definitely available. See how that pans out over these next few moments. Medevacs just about boosting their way out of here as well. In the end, basically just did a toured main base of Reynor as the rest of the forces starting to gather up on the watchtower in the center. And Maru, like I say, will have one timing window here where he's going to be able to go in without his opponent having Bane speed. This drone is misrallied, unfortunately, from Reynor, so that's off in the wrong direction. You step onto creep, and some of this creep spread will begin to go down. Maru just continue to press forward. The more of this creep that he knocks down, the better off he's going to end up being. As the medevacs load up, they're going to jump to the other side, get on top of this hatchery. So hatchery now in some trouble. It's taking a lot of hits. Hatchery will be going down here. There's a couple of drones felled. The Lings are going to find the opening from this bottom side, though, and they are going to get straight through. Is that what the drones were up to? If so, that's amazing. As the Lings get straight through, therefore run by that Reynolds, that Maru's not defending against because he had a wall off set up. And that is going to be substantial damage. 8-9 SCVs already going down. This is not dealt with yet. Maru wants to continue pressing the issue on the other side of the map. So yes, losing some of his economy, but believing he can bring it back on the other side. He's trading with those queens. The SCV's holding position, keeping the Lings from doing too much else right now as well. Is working out currently. 13 SCVs ended up dying on the other side of the map. We have killed a lot of Lings here, but here comes the Ling Bane flood. There's a lot more units from Maru down to the south side. Can we get rid of enough of the Banes to keep up this position? Answer seems like not really, as the tanks start to drop, and Maru's position will in fact be broken down. So Reynor cleans Maru up on his side of the map. Well, Maru coming out of this still okay in army supply, still okay in work count realistically for the workers that he's lost. That said, Reynor has a bunch of money to spend, 1,200 minerals, which if he was able to get rid of would have put him in a way better position economically here than what he's currently in. So that's maybe something to keep our eyes on, to think about as well. As a few Marines unloading down into the bottom right. Marine's going to stem up once more and just keep on moving through. Medevacs taking a few more shots there. Marines getting pushed away as well. Marines medevacs continue to come about. We will have ourselves the scan coming through. Going to be able to drop these Marines off. No, we're not, as the Marines get shot down. Or one of the medevacs gets shot down. So that's not too pretty. Obviously, units being lost there is not ideal. Not what you're looking for, not what you're hoping for. With these other Marines still coming about as well. Those Widow Mines trying to line up for something too, as we are going to be seeing the few Lings just running forwards, getting cleaned up. Now more Lings continue to stream through as well to continue to get some damage dealt. Also going to be seeing a few more shots continue to come about. We have ourselves the SCV still going down. 7 workers being picked off thus far. Make it 8, and the SCV still being chased down by some Lings. Damage continuing to be done. 8 SCVs have fallen. A few Lings are going to morph into the bottom side. Some Banelings on the way up. Oh, Maru just misses those, so he doesn't quite see them. Oh, no, he's got them. Cool. So he's going to catch those. Those are not going to be able to do too much else here. So they get cleaned out. Well, those Vipers still grabbing up some of their energy, and obviously getting full energy Vipers out is going to give Reynor a lot of additional options the deeper this game goes. It's been action-packed for 11 minutes as the Lings stream into the natural, stream into the third, and there's no wall-off into the main base either, so this is going to be straight-up punished. Well, yeah, that's just amazing. What a run-by for Reynor as he gets straight through. Mistake from Maru, and the SCVs are falling like apples from the tree. As 28 have gone down, 29 and counting. Planetary Fortress here is going to be, well, losing the tank that was helping to protect it. These Lings will go down, but honestly, the damage done here is just incredible as Maru's supply suffers incredibly for it. That's going to stop Maru from teching up at all if he wanted to start teching against a Reynor who is obviously reaching Hive Tech and so on. And he still has to come and clean these units up, right? So he has to pull all the way back into his main base with the Force to be able to do a lot of work there. I see another Widowmine shot going off as well. I'll say Bomb goes there. Sorry, Blinding Cloud goes down as the Ling Bane continues to try and find a way around this here. A few more Lings down on the bottom. 47 dead SCVs. A few more Marines still getting set up. Ling Bane still coming around as well. The command center getting going as on top of this. And still gathering together here. As you see the Ling Bane moving around. And 3-3 coming about. A couple of Ultras and the Lings coming through. Kindness playing on the way as well. And Bioforce going to go fighting against those few Lings. As again, +3 melee's coming up. Going to try and get that hatchery. Will get that hatchery. Trying to keep control wherever he can. Obviously, he's really let a lot of this slip with those run-bys of Reynor being so deadly so far. A couple of Banelings getting to go off there, which is great. I think this Ultra's continuing through, getting a wrap around there. Parasitic Bomb goes off on the Medivacs as well. Reynor's just going to have too much, which I think we kind of saw coming to some extent to fix on the side of Maru, but pretty substantial things too. You can't just let the Lings in like that. No, again, someone like Reynor who is so proactive with their Zerglings, constantly looking for run-bys. You're just asking for, you know, a bad time if that's how you're going to play it. So definitely something that maybe needs to get fixed on up as we can get into game number 2. Get this one on the way. See what happens on this one. Does it look like an older picture of Maru? I do. Sure. In the Vitality shirt though, isn't he? Can't be that old. Unless they photoshopped that Vitality shirt on him. I actually think it's just a newer photo. I mean, they've been Vitality for a while now, right? There's been a couple of events. They're the sort of team that paid for their photo shoots anyways already, so I'd be surprised if it was an old picture. And then it comes down on the natural. We get that set up. As the SCV continues through, again, the command center coming up, couple queens and the Lings coming about as well. You're just going to come in beneath that Overlord, just going to come moving by as well. Getting a little bit of action, nothing too crazy. A bit of that right-hand side, trying to see what else is going on. As you just see a little grenade going down, so that first drone is going to be taking a little bit of damage as well. Lings will hit that SCV, so the SCV taking a few shots. The Marine has to pull back a little bit as well. The Ling's still trying to chase, and Marine will be able to get rid of the Ling there, so Ling will go down. A couple command centers still coming up, the factory coming through. We're going to be here to push that Reaper back, so that Reaper getting chased away as well. And this Reaper actually going to hop up into these Queens, which are going to say nuh-uh and goodbye. So they're going to go push that away as well, so that is going to be a shutdown in that regard too. So we shut down over there, hatchery coming up. We got set underway. Overlord still moving by, the Roach Drone coming on in. Going to get that settled as well, a couple of Queens still coming through too. Let's throw a couple more grenades in. So that River is obviously going to go down. Remember, this game is Hellions, but also a fairly quick stim pack, so a little bit of an aggressive setup potentially. As the third CC moves into the orbital. Starport is on the way down, and we get a setup to get that medevacs out and those Marine drops on the field. Hellions still moving back over to the right. Coming over, Queen's going to take a little bit of a nibble. We'll see Hellions just trying to break through. Let's say for the most part, we're just heading towards those medevacs. Once those medevacs out, that's when Maru will have even more control on this field. Hellions and Marines combined can obviously do a lot. The Roach is on the way from Reynor, however, going to make it a much sturdier defense from him very naturally, so that will go a long way. Roach is going to fight the Hellion. There's our 7 of them coming up. Roach speed and the Queen continuing to come through. A couple more Roaches still on the way up as well. Still bringing that on in. Just for the moment. Medevacs have loaded back into the medevac, loaded the Marines back up, and so we are going to come across the map. The drop load on the way, though. Reynor's actually looking to be aggressive himself. Against a fast stim, this is actually still fine. It's just about kind of not getting, or not letting kind of Marines run rampant on your side of the map and really consolidating your push into one big attack, rather than kind of being stringed across the map because you're dealing with this drop, and then you get the other units across, etc., etc. Let's see what Reynor can do as the first Marines show up. These few Roaches, they forced them to lift back up, and now we're already off and away back into that move across the other side. Ravage is morphing, and Maru only just now realizing what's going on. 2 bunkers will start up as the Roaches try to approach the front door. And depots will be getting denied here. As there is a tank in position, which is going to deny the Roaches from committing just a bit further yet. I need these Ravages to show up so we can really deal with those much more effectively. Alright, there go those depots. That will supply block Maru, as Marines will be able to get into the bunkers now. Tank moves a bit further forward. Corrosive Bowels to try and get rid of some of the bunkers, of course. If we can get rid of them, then great. Reynor already realizing that this may just not do too much else. As we have ourselves the Carapace upgrade coming through, the additional drone still on the way. SCV's pulling back around and figuring out what they would like to get done next. just dropping off, and the Queen's firing up a little bit further again, trying to get a little bit extra done. Corrosive Vials hitting that bunker, but not really breaking through. Just coming across again, a couple more Hellions go down. We just have ourselves the Marines still moving about. A couple of those bunkers getting salvaged. The Marines will take a couple steps forward. Going to grab the Overseer. That's a supply block for Reynor. And obviously clearing out some of this creep spread that Reynor's been establishing too. Gets the active tumors on that second scan. So that's all the creep cleaned up, at least, without having needed more scans than that. So that's a bonus. The Marines across the map will now try and drop for some action. Reynor's still with a massive supply lead in the game, and he's done a great job of establishing a good setup, right? I mean, he's got a good drone count. Upgrades, yes, are late, but his carapace isn't that far behind the 2-2 of his opponent. And then, yeah, it's the missiles that's mostly late, but at least he has one of those upgrades coming through. Like I say, it does not feel as though Reynor is in the worst position of all time coming out of this. I've definitely seen much worse situations. As we actually did have more creep on that left-hand side still, so we have to scan for that once again. So that's just annoying, having to scan a little bit extra. I think it's the Queen drop that's actually been spreading more creep, yeah. Reynor forcing scans out of that, which is obviously incredible. Absolutely keep that going. Two more medevacs load up again. Gonna come boosting through the center of the map now. Roaches, Ravagers gathering up in the middle, the drop load with a few Queens inside, figuring out what they would like to do as well. Medevacs are moving back around. Narrowed down 50 supplies still. Would love to try and get a little bit extra on the way as our medevacs load up. We're going to pull away down that bottom right side. Bit of bio in the center coming through. The Roach is going to get turned around there. Another scan. Just going to see the Roaches, Lings chasing forwards. The medevacs getting pushed away. They're going to be taken out of here now. For the moment, away they go. All of this Roach Ravager showing up once more, keeping things at bay. Maru is just full sending across the map. He's about to hit 2-2. He'll have 2-2 right now. So upgrade lead in a big way for him, especially against Lings that don't have any melee upgrades yet. Even the Ultras won't have melee upgrades, although Ultras usually care more so about armor, and at least they can have +2 soon. Kindness Plane not done yet either, though, as Maru takes position and looks to get this done with one big push. Does not want this game to extend any further, wants to take advantage of the position he's had. Let's see if he's going to be able to. Slowly pushing his way up to this high ground. Getting closer towards the base. The tanks continue to get sieged. Fungal growths go down. Tanks not sieged yet, so they're not able to fire back. Finally they will. And so far, Reynor has yet to show us a convincing turnaround on this army. And I think it's just because he's a little bit too invested into tech and so on. I mean, you look at the situation, right? And Reynor is on his way to the Ultras and so on. And they're just... Well, the first one pops out and just dubs around. But he's invested into kind of going there instead of, you know, the current army, which was already a little bit behind tech-wise anyways because of the way this game opened. I think that is going to be Reynor's issue, as Maru hitting one hell of a timing off these three bases. Third base of Reynor is now dead. That's one production point that's gone down. One of the Ultras got caught there as well, as you saw. As now we're going to have this natural going to be difficult to break out of because the Terran's going to be sieged right in front of it. Lings are streaming forwards and they are just going down, kind of gifted to the Terran player already. We kind of need units to come in from the other side at the same time. Don't lose the Evo Chamber. +2 melee is going to finish, I believe, so that's okay. We're losing the Infestors that Reynor brought into play to try and buy time. Here are the Ultras from the other side. Reynor is going to catch the tanks that Maru left to their own devices, but it's just not going to matter. Maru is going to bring it back with the killer push that